hit the stores, you gotta check the shelves, you gotta free them all, you gotta let them loose.
Reviews from the basement.
Alright, JB Reviews from the Basement with another video game review for the channel. Monster Hunter Wilds is what we're going to take a gander at today. This is my first Monster Hunter game ever. The franchise has been around for a little bit of time from Capcom. Pretty glad I bought this one. The marketing campaign worked pretty good. So I have a little over 50 hours in the game, and I'm a Hunter rank 40 at this point. So this is my perspective from that amount of time put into this pretty cool game. So without further ado, let's check out that game. All right, so first thing we'll go over is the performance of the game. In the description of this video, I will put my rig and what I was working with for this game. Considering what I had, I figured I would have been able to use the 4K texture pack. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I did not install, or it didn't work on mine, but I was still able to play the game at high graphic settings and all that good stuff, so it wasn't a terrible experience. I know some people had some pretty rough times with optimization. The game in general could probably use a little more optimization. That was the biggest complaint for me, was that, but all in all, it didn't detract from my experience with what I was working with, so I was pumped about that, but also not. Next, character creation. Monster Hunter has a pretty robust character creation. You are able to do a lot of different things. Both male, female, have a good amount of options. You even get to customize your Palico, which is your cat partner. Pretty cool. I wish that had a little bit more detail to it. I was not able to pull off a Calico Palico, which was kind of a bummer, but maybe down the line, or I missed something, I don't know. But character creation, pretty awesome. Took a lot of time to get through it. It's usually an issue with games that have that for me. But next, we're going to get into the story here. The main story was good enough for me, didn't bother me, didn't make me want to rush through it. But it was used more as a tutorial, the entire main story. Because once you get through that, something's going to happen. We'll get there. The story revolves around you and your unit helping this little boy you find, Nata, who is missing and lost from his people. So we find Nata, or he finds us, and we help him on his journey to find his people and become a keeper. So it's about 15 hours it took me to get through the main story. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Good stuff. Nothing revolutionary. But once the story is over, this is something I did not know. Credits are going to roll. You're going to see some cutscenes in these credits, and then the game is actually not over yet, folks. Credits roll, and then you are right back into the game with more main quests. Basically just doing more Monster Hunter work. I did not know this about this game. This is where people say a lot of the real game actually starts. So when you get to this point, it opens up all the same areas you've been to, but there is a lot more freedom to go around, do what you want. You're not guided so much by the tutorial main story, I guess. When you unlock this next part of the thing, you are going to have a ton of new stuff to do. It is basically like a whole new game. There's more main quests, there's new items to build, craft, buy, new weapons and armor, different tiers, there's all sorts of new monsters, different versions of them too. It's pretty cool how they did it. It'll keep you playing. So, now the characters within those stories. Your unit all has some pretty cool characters. You have Alma, who is going to be giving you your quests and your missions and your assignments and authorizing you to do hunts. After that, you have Gemma, who is going to be your blacksmith, and she's creating all your armors, upgrading your armors and weapons. Also some talismans and stuff like that you get later. Like I said, a lot of stuff unlocks seemingly after the main story. Then you have your Palico, which you get to customize armor, weapons, all that good stuff. They unlock different moves and abilities as you progress through the entire game. There's also another squad around that has like Olivia, Eric, and Werner. It's like Avis and Astrum unit, I believe. But they help you around. You could call them for help during SOS things, or you could use that as an online SOS flare. I did not mess with that too much. Mostly stuck with the AI hunters. But all the characters that you do missions for them too, they have a lot of personality. Capcom did a pretty good job with the characters, even minor characters and people you're just, NPCs you're helping out in your story and quest. They have a lot of character and are unique and fun. It was a really enjoyable experience seeing all these different characters. So, back with Gemma and the weapons and armor. She's going to craft you all that stuff. There are like 14 different weapons, I believe, and within the weapons, there's different tiers that unlock different weapons of the same category, but have different stats, affinities, which is like your elemental type damage, and this stuff will unlock as you progress further through the game. And the way to build these things are to get and kill monsters and get parts and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to basically be doing a whole bunch of hunting for parts and all that kind of stuff. The monsters will drop that for you. And in reality here, the monsters, the absolute stars of the show, from the beginning till, well, where I am now, it's not over for me. But every monster seems to be unique to me, different, ways to deal with it, hunt it. Obviously the parts they drop, you'll be doing, like I said, a lot of hunting to get the correct parts and pay attention to what version of said monster you're going to be hunting. Because for each different type of monster, there's frenzied, tempered, alpha, and just normal, which was most of the main story stuff. But you got to be careful what you're hunting so you don't lock yourself. You're not going to lock yourself out permanently, but you'll just have to go back and make the weaker version of something to possibly unlock something you want to build down the line. It's a pretty cool system that Capcom came up with in there, and the armor system is kind of the same, except it's just like broken down into low level and high level, which I kind of missed the high level thing until about 42 hours in. So I guess from probably 15 hours to 42 hours, I was still rocking like low level armor and building low level armor. So pay attention to the options and menus and stuff in this game. Things you can miss. But you could also, build that stuff for your Palico as well. Also has high level and low level. So that'll be a lot of grinding, which keeps it playing the game. But yeah, the enemies, every encounter seems to me to go, not the same, which is nice. So it's not super repetitive. You can either find these monsters out in the wild or just create a hunt for one, and you're just going to be beating up on these monsters and picking up the loot that they drop and follow them to their next area and fighting them some more until you eventually capture or hunt them down to death. And yeah, that's basically the gameplay loop, and it's surprisingly, sounds repetitive, but it is enjoyable, and there's always something going on. You can get yourself in trouble hunting whatever you want at any point. So, in the end here, my final thoughts on Monster Hunter Wilds. I am super glad that I picked this game up. Not too much to complain about. The optimization would have been great. Maybe some more options for the Palico would be great. Other than that, this game's going to be, even though I'm done with the review, I'm still going to be playing this game. As of the review, there was a update that I believe added an enemy and some more stuff. Monster Hunter veterans are looking forward to certain monsters. I don't know any of these monsters, but more monsters and weapons and stuff to do is always a bonus. So glad I picked this game up. Definitely worth it, and it will be staying in the rotation for JB. thank you for stopping by and bearing with me during my interesting review here, I hope. And it'll get better, I promise. JB, reviews from the basement. Thanks for coming by.